We drove to New Jersey. Your eyes seemed a bit worried. You said it was nothing, but I knew you'd get buried. The sorrow of us, the sorrow of us. How did we end up here? We used to laugh so hard. When did we stop loving, babe? When did it all go too far? We don't listen when we talk. We fight fire with fire. It's like we don't know how to talk without the phrase getting higher. You hear when I hear me, yeah, nothing else in between, yeah. Try to connect without making a scene, but we don't listen when we talk. We don't listen when we talk. I know you have your reasons to yell at me tonight, baby. Can we see this as a lesson? That maybe we should open up. The sorrow of us, the sorrow of us. How did we end up here? We used to laugh so hard. When did we stop loving, babe? When did it all go too far? We don't listen when we talk. We fight fire with fire. It's like we don't know how to talk without the phrase getting higher. You hear when I hear me, yeah, nothing else in between, yeah. Try to connect without making a scene, but we don't listen when we talk. Don't ask me to leave, 'cause I wanna stay. Don't ask me to leave, 'cause I wanna stay. We don't listen when we talk. We fight fire with fire. It's like we don't know how to talk without the phrase getting higher. You hear when I hear me, yeah, nothing else in between, yeah. Try to connect without making a scene, but we don't listen when we talk. We don't listen when we talk.
Finally don't get no fuss. Finally be riding on my way. Finally woke up with some luck in the book. I don't give a what someone say. Finally got my friends in the back on my roller. We gon' make it big one day. We gon' make it big, I say. We gon' make it big, just stay in there. Stay in the morning. Stay in the morning with me. Give you a moment. Give you a moment with me. Smell all the roses. Smell all the roses with me. Just give you a moment. Stay in the moment with me. You woke up from a while. Haven't seen you smile since December. Ripped your heart, got a brand new one since you got lost in November. See it in your eyes when we leave for the night. Way too many heartbreaks still on your mind. Let the flame burn down for a while. Let the flame blur out for a while. Stay in the morning. Stay in the moment with me. Give you a moment. Give you a moment with me. Smell all the roses. Smell all the roses with me. Just give you a moment. Stay in the moment with me. see you climbing. Been trying to find your way. Let's see you smiling. Since we were stuck in LA, babe, come jump the rooftop and come watch the skyline with me. I can't stay. No, I always gotta go. Playing house, this ain't a home with my soul. On the road, I can't stay. No, I always gotta go. Playing house, this ain't a home with my soul. On the road,
I can't sit still for a minute. I'm so dead set on indifference. Keep it Charlie, stay down with them Dickens. Let's get around like it's the 80s. Right round, let's keep spinning. Let's keep playing these games that we don't want to finish. And I'm sorry if that sounds a bit bitter, but I am to the core. You want the whole damn thing, then you ask him for more. You want that old jive swing, you take up all of the floor. I'm fine with standing at the edge of the door. You be the life of the party. I blend in with the core. You drink it all to Bacardi. Till the bottle's no more. Let's take it back before this started. You want the love, I don't got it. Got my soul on the road. You screaming, stay. Baby, please don't go. Don't think it's in me to listen to foe. It's so different with distance we roam into zones where nothing get hurt anymore. I just wish I was home when I stepped through front door, but instead I'm alone and completely unsure. And even though you're screaming out with the best of intentions, I don't get it. Why do you always gotta ask me to stay? Why you always gotta go? Playing house, this ain't a home with your soul. On the road, say, why you always gotta go? Playing house, this ain't a home with your soul. On the road. See, I've been lost in my thoughts, and my thoughts stay too obscure to usher off. Sorry, Mom, I just thought you were my world. Now you're not. And I'm just sitting, smoking, sloping in a daze, cause my days ain't been the same since I drove here away. I remember the way you wrote letters in blue ink. You and me was in love. Think about what your crew think. I know your moms probably think I'm a bastard. Your pops probably wanna beat my to death and take a in my casket. But I got sick of fighting, bickering, fussing over nothing, cussing. Instead of watching the death of discussions that we once had, days that we once spent in the backseat of our cars, reading poets at sunset. It's funny how love can fall out the foreground, get pushed into the back of your mind. We used to twist a spliff and laugh and relax. Now you crying, and I'm trying to find the reasons. So I ask, does forever ever happen, or is it always fade to black? I can't stay. No, I always gotta go. Playing house, this ain't a home with my soul. On the road, I can't stay. No, I always gotta go. Playing house, this ain't a home with my soul. On the road.
When you little higher.
You held me back when I tried to move on from your life. So you stole my life with clarity. So hold me back, now you're here. Cause I'm mad, show no fear. Wanna let you know just how it felt. Oh no, 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 no. Don't you think we're good? There's no way we could be. No, oh no, 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 no. I know the way you look at me. I know it too well. Now I'm bulletproof. You're my fire gun, but I'm flying high. I'm bulletproof. Don't ever touch the ground. You can never bring me down. You can never bring me down. Can never bring me down. Cause I'm bulletproof. Yeah, I'm bulletproof. We've been up, we've been down, trying to figure things out. End up losing myself in it. But I'm done being done. Glad I end it all now. I won't ever turn it round again. Oh no, 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 no. Don't you think we could? There's no way we could be. No, oh no, 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 no. I know the way you look at me. I know you too well. Now I'm bulletproof. You're my fire gun, but I'm flying high. I'm bulletproof. Don't ever touch the ground. You can never bring me down. You can never bring me down. Can never bring me down. Cause I'm bulletproof. Cause I'm bulletproof. Cause I'm bulletproof. Yeah, I'm bulletproof. Now I'm bulletproof. You're my fire gun, but I'm flying high. I'm bulletproof. Don't ever touch the ground. You can never bring me down. You can never bring me down. Can never bring me down. Cause I'm bulletproof. Yeah, I'm bulletproof. Cause I'm bulletproof.
Think about me one more time before you go. Someday you'll know. Someday you'll know. Already know what I'm going to say. I've been feeling this way for far too long. And now you're gone. Took me away from.
스파이크가 A점에 스파이크가 B 지점에 떨어졌습니다. 아군이 한 명 남았습니다. 스파이크가 설치되었습니다. 적군이 한 명 남았습니다. 아군이 한 명 남았습니다. 적군이 한 명 남았습니다.
첫인상을 잘 남기는 게 중요하지. 자, 날 잘 보라고.
Only type of light that I ever hide from. Cause I'm red and blue lights, I don't sing their song. I know where you at, yeah, where you come from.
폭발한다.
Who you wanna become.
잘 가.
Move your body, move a leg. Everybody here.
이게 중력이다.
One to the right now, one to the left. Never stay still. Move again.
우린 시작도 그 과정도 지켜봤지. 이제 끝낼 차례야. 우리가 이기고 있어.
Anything I want, baby, gonna take that. What I want, so I'm never leaving. Whole team
이번엔 운이 없네.
protect at all costs, yeah, like a wave back.
다들 진정해. 시간과 공간이라는 건 너희 생각과 완전히 다르거든.
Mr. Bullseye.
Run.
2포츠고 I can
다녀올게.
Does it I am better than I was tired 21 savage 세계와 I get I play the game 탈퇴 만드는 goddamn Wish got me tonight amen run
놀랐지?
거듭반의 relay 나 이코너 life 이네 스테이지 나 미기가 와 이네 그래서 원래 나 이대
이제 끝내는 거다. 날 찾았나?
99 got a bad boy Don't follow me I'm a hot boy
너무 쉽군.
One way One way
누구든 가리지 않고 전부 다 상대해주지. Run.
자리 잡았어?
아직
왜 이렇게 오래 걸려? 여기 잘한다고 했잖아.
알고 있어. 재촉하지 마.
시간이 없어. 그냥 들어간다.
그러다 총 맞는 수가 있다.
나만 믿으라고.
페닉스 안 돼.
징계. 거봐. 나만 믿으랬지? 오오오오. 방금 그건 뭐야?
내가 말했을 텐데.
너한테는 아니지.
뭐 제가 먼저 쐈어.
먼저? 그럼 너도 쐈다는 소리네? 뭐야, 변명도 안 해? 그렇게 그냥 가버리시겠다. 그래, 막 나가자 이거지?
On Lexi now, but Boom Esports, they should be able to take this round unless Lexi has something to say about it after getting that kill. Spike'll has been planted.
Lexi, though, left with 61 HP. Still 3 opponents just hunting him down right here.
He has a gun. He can actually back on away and call it a day, but no, he wants to peek again. Let's get the ace!
Looking so bad, they know where Marth is as well. Sentinels start to circle, they start to enclose around the FaZe players. They smell blood, it's in the water, and they want to finish it off. And TenZ is looking to do it in style. Marth, 2 HP left. Here comes a dagger with his name on it, and that's a wrap. Sentinels are the champions.
E o grande que tá, abertura do Saci, pixel a pixel, vai buscando, vai pegar a eliminação final e acabou!
А вот такой вот кружочек. Мама,
какой плохой
in behind. Alpha following Lexi, even catching out to their target. And now it's all up to Scary. Now he's able to get 3. And a 1 and a 2 and a 3. This Tango refuses to stop.
Intercambio 2 contra 1. King con el primero, mano a mano a Caseta contra King con su definitiva. Qué problemático es esto. No te la creo, King!
Kendine Kiwi 2 tane entry gelmiş. Krax'ın yardım ama Mago 13-6 Futbolist 3-0'la beraber güçlü rakibini yenip Masters'ın şampiyonluğu olmayı başardı.
It's huge. Light out, baby. Let's go.
It comes down to the 6th man, right down to the wire. 1v2, both players all the way back in sight. Look at the double face comes through. Bocold lands it.
They've done it. Ascend. They've actually gone and done it.
Lexi with 1 HP. Lakia just sprays for 4.
Oh, sexy. 김명태. 그리고 뒤승찬. 더 이상 올라오지 않습니다. 2021 발로란트 챔피언스 스테이지 1 지역 마스터즈 코리아.
Hey, don't burn me, come on, you're too hot. That's okay. Don't heed it when solemn hurt, nor when it calling me. Darkness is novelty, but still pray it don't swallow me whole. Hope gotten all of these verses in ponderance. Her surface is faltering, but I'm constantly wandering through its cracks and its crevices. Found love at a deficit. I better set the tone straight. Know it's in everything. I struggle to find it still. Wish time could rewind a little. Always hungry for younger me. Any version but current me. I roll with the current. Hope it takes my uncertainty. But certainly nothing for certain. Open the curtain, see. Exchange is a currency. Changing the landscape. I hang on the words we speak. I think I should let them go. I think I should let them go. I think I should let them go. I wonder if heaven's doors open for everyone. I see that the devil run along with the angels. I'm still angry at my pops, though we dead and gone. Some cuts turn to scars and they stay for good. Got too many things I wish that I never saw, things that I never heard. You told me yo every hurt, now it plays on a loop and I'm hanging on every word. I think I should let it go. I think I should let it go. I'm always turning to medicine, think that's to my detriment. I wanna be a better person, but I fall short of every goal. I wanna be honest, but I'm lying on every song. Someone smack me right now, or I'll never grow. I'll blame it on everyone, except the man in the mirror I see everyone. Sometimes I hate that the sunrise, wish it fell and it never rose. Find the thorns on top of every rose I ever hold. I just think I should let them go. I don't know if there's really good in the world. I see the selfish in every soul, but I'm trying to change up my viewpoint, hang it up with those Newports that I choke down with a loose cord. These days I'm trying to do more, but I sit on my ass a lot like this armchair, a throne in the castle of Camelot, and me and Greg at a round table. Hope this was a sound fable for all y'all to listen to. Really hope that you listened through, heard how parts of my soul sound, and how Greg a monster laying them chords down. I open my doors now, spread out my arm wide, find love at day's end, see glory in mom's eyes. They changed my whole life. These days I ain't gotta worry much, just gotta make songs cry. I've done that for a long time, but I hope that this song smiles. I'm tired of teardrops, hope all this fear stops. We stop and smell the flowers while they all in bloom, and every afternoon wasn't always doom and dread. And the world up at its end got these thoughts that we keep hanging. Think it's time we let them rest. It's time that we let him go. It's time that we let him go.
You give me this energy. It is like you set me free. Chasing highs to stay alive. But if I'm with you, I'll survive. So hold me close into the night, 'cause I need you to stay. You take me to paradise, that's why it's hard to wait. Can I be around you for motivation? Just a little while now. A simple question, can I get closer? Just for motivation. Can I be around you for motivation? Just a little while now. A simple question, can I get closer? Just for motivation. Life is hard the way it is, but with you it's easier. Follow me into the night, without you I'm falling deeper.
Get ready. All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another day. It is time to kick off stage 2 here in Korea of the VALORANT Challengers Tour. I am Achilles, joined by Paper Thin yet again. It's been a good long break since we wrapped up Masters. How you been? What have you been up to?
I've been good. I've been busy, just casting some stuff here and there. But man, I am really excited to get back to VALORANT. This is going to be a really interesting tournament here as we get ready to find out which team is going to Reykjavik. Of course, we're quite a bit of ways from that. We've still got months to go, but now we begin the process of, weaning out the teams that are going to be there or not. And of course, we're in Korea, so that the big question is can anybody challenge Vision Strikers? New Turn did pretty good against them in the finals at Masters, which you and Artosis casted, but it was weird because, New Turn beat them on 2 maps, but it was really close on both of those maps. But when Vision Strikers won, they really won.
Yeah, it was a bit of a lopsided series. That, like, Split, incredibly good map. I'd say that, the best one out of that series, but yeah, it almost felt like on Bind in particular, it was kind of just them getting dragged down to New Turn's level, Vision Strikers rather. Like they made them play a little bit sloppier, which is good. They exploit weaknesses. Unfortunately for them, they couldn't, really push it even further to try to, give them their first series loss. So Vision Strikers still do remain undefeated. They're still going to be the favorite for Reykjavik right now, but there's also been a lot of changes. There's a lot of teams that are looking to qualify into this event. Obviously, as the esport continues to just grow and grow even bigger out here in Korea. But given that we are playing on patch 2.06, there hasn't been a huge amount of turnaround here for these teams to get prepped for this. There's obviously some major changes to things such as the Bucky as well as Viper. So maybe we start seeing some different agent compositions here in Stage 2 compared to what we saw all throughout Stage 1.
Yeah, I mean, are we going to see Astra is a big question.
That too.
What are we going to see with that? Like, I think there's a lot of room for Astra to be utilized in competitive play. We'll see if anybody opts to go for it yet. So you can look at our rules here, guys. It's another round robin for this particular phase. It's a best of 3 each time. Top 2 teams out of each group get to go through. Some of the groups only have 3 teams, so maybe it's a little easier for them. But regardless, we still have to play the games. We have to, whittle things down to that round of 16, which starts up just next week. So literally this whole weekend is the round of 32, and then we move forward after that.
Yep.
And you're going to be seeing a lot of good teams here today, though.
That we are, and the match is already underway, as you can see right here. New Turn kicking things off with 1 victory so far in their group. Vision Strikers yet to play. Currently playing at the moment. I do believe they have a series starting here at 5 p.m. Local time, and then we will be seeing them for our second series. So we'll see how they fare. What a story that would be if Vision Strikers somehow got knocked out of the qualifier.
Oh.
Obviously very unlikely, but, anything can happen.
Yeah.
Starting things off, though, we do have Rio versus Spear Gaming. Rio, everybody will know them as Muyaho, have undergone a bit of a brand change. Rio, a new company, an agency founded out here, picking up those players and adding a familiar face as well, as Harry has stepped to the side for the squad. Esperanza has joined them. But just further looking, there's obviously a ton of groups that are going to be playing throughout this event. We won't get to see everything, unfortunately, but that's just the way it is. At least we see more than EU does.
Yeah, that's true. It's going to be really interesting. So you can see that the way we're splitting it up, just so you guys know, is if there's a group of 4, they have to play 6 games to kind of work everything out. If it's a group of 3, there's only 3 games. So we've broken down those games into 1, 3, and 5, just for kind of simplicity of the columns there. Just keep that in mind. So those numbers look a little confusing. They're actually not. It's just normal. They just play 3 games. That's all there is to it. You can see here some of our results already. Spear Gaming 2-0 Saviors, not super unexpected. Saviors is always kind of hanging around the round of 16s, kind of getting close or getting into it, but they haven't really been able to punch through any further past that. Spear is pretty going to be an interesting team. Some of the old members of Apex, like Park Jung Wicks, they're going to be on there. Hound has been on Spear for quite some time, so he's going to be there. And then you got Nakji, who's played with a few of these guys here and there. He was on Vortex 5, but he's actually played with some of these other guys, like Park Jung on LFS. So there's a lot of mixing and matching here going on with Spear.
Yeah, and the question is, are they going to be, are they going to be at a point where they can play together, super well already, given that this is a bit of a mishmash of a team coming together with a lot of players that we know are quite talented and whatnot, but do they have that synergy built up already, or will it take a little bit of time? Because obviously you want to qualify out, you want to come out on top here. Taking down Rio would be a huge way to start things off if you're Spear Gaming. Rio, though, I think they're going to be looking just to bounce back after that pretty devastating loss in the losers final to New Turn. I thought that was going to be such a close series. I thought that maybe Muyaho was potentially the second best team that we had in Korea. New Turn absolutely proved me and everybody else wrong that was in this similar camp by just dismantling them. So I think this is definitely a time to just shake that off, and they want to come back in here and they want to look strong.
Yeah, and, kind of change things up a little bit. With Esperanza coming in, he's going to fill in a similar role to Harry, where he's going to typically be playing your Cyphers, your Killjoys, that kind of thing. He does play Jet from time to time, does Esperanza, but we don't see it a lot, so I don't expect that. Just typically, he's going to be more of a controller type player. So it's not a huge shift. And Esperanza, played for T1, played for, so he's a very good player. We know that. We've seen it before. I think this team, they're looking for something big. They need somebody to kind of step up. I mean, a big problem for them was just Suggest just playing out of his mind. I mean, he was so good there coming up into that finals against Vision Striker that I was just like, well, this guy might just be so good. He can kind of carry a team, you know, beyond their limits.
Unfortunately, he didn't really hit his stride in that series. But here we go. Taking a look at our maps. Icebox banned by Rio. And we do see Haven banned by Spear Gaming. So we will be headed to Ascent, then Bind. And if we can make it into a map number 3, then we'll go to Split.
Well, Ascent, Bind, Split. Like, we got to come up with a song for the maps we see here in Korea, because nobody plays Icebox. It's especially when Vision Strikers is around, everybody just bans it. They're too good at it. But yeah, it's a lot of Ascent, a lot of Split, a lot of Bind these days. Sometimes you'll see Haven depending on the team, but a lot of teams really like to ban Haven. A lot of it is kind of just, it's a targeted ban. There's teams that are really good at Haven. Everybody knows who they are. So for Spear Gaming, they know that Muyaho, aka Rio now, is one of those teams that's quite good at Haven. Typically, like a lot of the really top teams here in Korea are really good at Haven. I mean, that's kind of the MO of the better teams.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to be, you know, one of the better teams to really topple that map, to, you know, have that one on lockdown. Obviously, 3 sites compared to every other map, so there's a lot more strategy that you can prepare to go into that one, you know, a lot of different set plays. So it makes sense to see that it's going to be the top performing teams that really kind of favor that, and everybody else wants to stick to kind of the more stock standard things like Bind, Ascent, Split, the maps that have been around for quite some time and don't quite stray as heavily to one side for an attacker-defender advantage.
Yeah, and I think it's probably comfortable as well, just in the nature of a tactical shooter. You know, the 2 bomb site is, or the 2, you know, in this case, spike site is kind of what you're used to. And I think it's easy to practice on the maps. It's really easy to kind of figure out the flow of them, kind of know all the spots for where your smokes can go, where you can throw things like your paint shells or those kind of things. So, you know, just knowing the angles and all that stuff, I think is a little easier to work out. And, you know, Haven's a little bit more chaotic because of the 3rd spike site that's added in the middle, and it kind of adds an element of randomness. And there's also a lot more ins and outs, I would say, on Haven. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of, like, those alleys and those links and those kind of things to go through that kind of cause a little bit more confusion sometimes.
Yeah, especially when you have great lurking play coming through from somebody like an Omen, you know, or even a Sova that's got a line up on the site, you know, that kind of thing. But here we go, agent selection, and we have it locked in already. Unsurprisingly, it will be Intro who is bringing out Astra for us.
I told you.
So we had kind of estimated this is going to be the Omen players shifting over. So it does make sense. Now the question is, do we get to see Glow play it later on in our 2nd series?
Right.
We'll have to wait, but for now, let's see what it can do. I was picking this guy up. I went on the Valoranting show that Do Not Peek puts on, and I was picking up Intro. They asked about these, you know, great set players who like to pop off, and I said he's a standout because he's not a Jet, he's not a Reigns, he plays Omen a lot, he lurks, and the guy absolutely destroys. So I'm really curious to see how he pops off with this.
I mean, I think it's going to be really interesting to see how they're going to use all of these new abilities that here in Korea we're going to see for the first time. So, I mean, the smokes are a little bit different than Omens, of course. They're a little bit wider but more shallow.
Yeah.
And so you can only play, you know, and you can place them, but the enemy has a few seconds to identify where you're going to do it. They last for quite a while. I think it's like 14 or 15 seconds. It's a really long smoke. And you can have a couple of them at a time. You can have 2 at a time. So that's about the same as Omen in that respect. And then, of course, the other stars you can have those gravity walls and other things.
Yep. Then you got the big wall.
And the big wall. The big wall that blocks bullets and sound, but not abilities.
Talk about the big wall. But here we go, guys. Map 1 in our first on-stream qualifying match. Rio versus Spear. Rio's going to be first on the defense. Let's see how Spear wants to manage this attack.
Well, it's, you know, Ascent's weird because it felt for like a long time it was an attacker's sided map on Korea. It just felt like teams had really kind of figured out how to push into the sites, and you can still create those one-way smokes with Astras, Nebulas. So, you know, there's still that ability. Of course, you haven't lost. Maybe if you thought you couldn't do that, no, you can. It's not as easy to do as like Omens, where you can like really micromanage where your smokes go, but you could still find those spots and get it done. And everybody's just playing it very slow to start out. A few of the Astra stars are down over on A, but it looks like SPG is rotating towards B.
Making their way forward, has the Hawk ready to go. A couple smokes going to be tossed out into the back. See that start, but they're on the floor. It's making it a little bit rougher for them to push through, but the site is otherwise completely open, so they will be able to just press in here onto the side proper and start getting this spike planted. Will be the back corner here as Park Chung lays it down. So far, no one falling on either side, but a decent amount of damage here on the 10X. Does have him down to 53 HP.
Let's see if they can find some kind of entrance in through Market. Just trying to hold the angles. There is one, a couple over in main, actually.
Yeah, 2 in main. Got Kosa here set up in Boathouse. Just throwing out that paranoia. Nocchi now starting to press forward. Kills are flying across the board here, but it's going to be Rio. We're down a man. Frenzy coming through, tries to get the flip over to the side, but the pressure is just too much. Buzz will be the last one to fall, and with 3 members left standing, Spear Gaming will take round 1.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy push in there for Spear Gaming, and once you got 5 men on the back of B and you control main, you have a pretty good option as there's only 2 directions that the other team can come in through. So, of course, it's pretty easy once you can get that setup going. It's the pistol round as well, so that kind of, it doesn't infer as much, but I'm kind of curious about what the buys are going to be like now. You know, of course, I don't think we're going to see many Buckies anymore, but
yeah.
So I was wondering what is going to be the, you know, the eco buy, but it looks like it is just going to be like pretty much a full eco with the classics.
Dart coming through to try to scout. Hawk will go to clear Market. Hound dashing forward. His door's not shut yet. Makes his way around the side. Esperanza going to be cut down in Boathouse. That's the B site, completely broken open. Only a smattering of damage really pushed out onto Hound so far, and they, of course, do have that Sky that can try to top him back up. Push on the corner with the blinds flying through. They will find 2 quick kills, make it a third as intro goes down. And it is going to be a flawless second round here for Spear Gaming, as we might anticipate, given the gun advantage. But now let's see what Rio can get done with the rifles in their hands.
Yeah, there's not much to take out of that one. When you're with classics, it's very difficult. I mean, you could try to find some close-range situations, maybe get some right clicks going, but at the end of the day, you are at a pretty big disadvantage, of course. And so it is going to be, maybe Nocchi is going to go for that judge. It is the raise, and you're going to see the raises with the judges more often now instead of a Bucky. You did see a lot more judges in general at the latter half of Challengers, you know, stage 1 here in Korea. People are finding that you can hold a lot of these tight angles, get value out of it, build up more money, kind of still get value out of it with the kills and the other things, but also have more money banked up for later on in the series.
It's looking like an approach. Yeah, coming up through tree at the moment. Blind going to be dodged out there by Hound, but as he pushes into the site, will get his head taken off. Nocchi is quick to reply, however, making it a 1-for-1. Kosa having some idea that he's out there, and yeah, Buzz gets caught. G up out of wine. Just get taken down. That's going to be the Phantom pickup now. And it's going to have to be a retake onto the A site as the spike gets planted just below Heaven.
There's the smoke to keep Intro at bay. They probably a pretty good idea somebody's going to be up there. So Intro looking through Astra's spectral form there, seeing what's going on. Oh, yep, 10X comes in, gets one.
Great entry, just pushes straight through the smoke, manages to find the headshot. One remaining member playing out from main. We'll see the dart flying. Recon up, but Esperanza clear to just go ahead and hold this. Wix, does he retain his gun? Answer's gonna be no. Intro manages to find him. A little bit of a costly round here for Rio as they do lose 3 members, so have to rebuy those rifles or maybe even fall back onto SMGs, but they get themselves on the board.
Yeah, it's a nice win, but you can see, yeah, like you were just mentioning, the money's a little tight, so Buzz actually looks like he's gonna be going for a Bulldog, a Spectre for Ghana. And now it's going to be full assault rifles, full Vandals, pretty much. I think there's one Phantom in there for Hound. Everybody else really favoring the Vandal. The Vandal seems to be picking up steam in general. I think players are learning that being able to one-tap that head from just about anywhere, very useful. But you'll see players like, you know, Jets and Raises, entry fraggers that might go for the Phantom because it's so good up, it's, you know, with that rate of fire up close. Just kind of waiting to see what they're going to do and trying to use that one-way smoke there. For Buzz, and trying to get him to lurk up there, but they're ready. They're going to try the flash around the corner, but doesn't really catch much.
Did Buzz see Hound is my question. He was hiding in behind the box at Gelato. Seems like he's going to cheat back over to main entry anyway, just to play it a little bit safer. Boombot to clear out B main, doesn't spot anything. Shows that the Cubby's clear as well, so can safely grab this ult orb. Just one away now is Nocchi from having that showstopper ready to go.
Well, it's not much damage really being done here at all. None, in fact, and just scouting out B main there. Yeah. It's kind of interesting here. There's a lot of setup for the Killjoy with the defenses. Astra hasn't really placed too much of her stuff here in the later parts of it. So you have to be it's kind of weird when you're on the defender side with Astra, because normally you could really set up those attacks very well with the stars when you're on the attacker side, but defender side, quite a bit more difficult. Looks like we're going for B.
Yeah, turret just going to be cleared out. Fault line dodged here by Park Jung as he drops down. Alarm bot will get cleared. Here's the nano swarms. Nakji finds a nice little spot to tuck away in. They will be able to clear this out. Intro reapproaching from the defender's side. Manages to find one, getting the wall bang there on the Park Jung. And it's looking decent overall here, but Wix playing this angle, trying to keep them in the fight, but does manage to fall. Nakji with a showstopper, unable to find anything, and Intro picks up 4. This is what I was talking about with this kid. You get him going, and he does not stop.
Yeah, Intro's a real star. The guy is, when he gets hot, just as good as just about anybody in Korea. So let's see if he can keep it up. It's just a nice job coming through market, hitting some good shots, avoiding the showstoppers. That's a big part of it. Nakji doing a nice job there, avoiding the nano swarms from the Killjoy. But yeah, even with that Killjoy utility there, it makes it really tough to push through. That's what your Killjoys are really nice for. And you can lock down a site. Yeah, you might not be, really lighting up the scoreboard with it, but you buy a lot of time to set up the plays for Intro later on. If you can keep that enemy team slowed down as long as possible, you give times for your rotations to come in through, find the good angles, and that's what happens that round for Rio.
Buzz playing a bit aggressively. I believe there's a judge right around the corner. Tries to get the spray in onto Kosa. Softens him up a bit. Nakji does take a little bit of damage, but still will be standing. So positive trade now. Gun swap through. Hound comes up over the top through market. Gets the right click kill. Ghana dead before he can actually try to strike and get a second. As the spike gets planted, and this is going to end up being a save here for Rio.
Yeah, Esperanza opted to kind of set up around A this time, so with Buzz pushing through and losing in that trade, that really opens up a lot of space for Spear to come through into B, and they find that quick entry with Hound doing a good job with the right click. That's 2 down, that's an open B site. From there, it's pretty easy for the most part, and yeah, I think you're right. I think it's just a save for the rest of this one. For Rio, they're just waiting, watching the spawn area. There's some Astro Stars there. Maybe get a Gravity Well or something going. Get the Nova Pulse, whatever.
Yeah, but otherwise, yeah, just going to be waiting for this to go ahead and tick down. They did do a pretty decent deep check there, but I believe that the Hawk didn't quite make it into that defender's spawn, so they didn't get confirmation that Rio is in the area. So, Intro and Esperanza do manage to hang on to their weapons, but the rest of the squad not doing so hot.
Yeah, the money's a little dicey. 10X is really in Broketown. There isn't going to be a lot that they can do. It might just be, yeah, some half buys. I thought like half shields in the Frenzy and that kind of thing here and there. But it is going to be a lot of money in the hands of Spear Gaming. Still a lot banked up even after buying all those assault rifles. They've got a pretty good opportunity, and you can see they've been hammering away at B, having a lot of success with it. And all of Rio is over at B right now. Nobody's on
man. A. This is such a poor read from Rio. Spear Gaming charging forward. They will get the entry onto the site, and now they say, okay, yep, we made a bit of a goof, as they have pushed all the way up to top mid. Now the question is, can they retake this 5v5? Be a very good turnaround for them, given the economic situation, but this is definitely looking like Spear Gaming should be poised to take it. Ghana lurking around from behind is going to be held off by Park Jung. TP coming through, Kosa just going to be scouting out. Comes back over towards main.
Cosmic Divide and Rolling Thunder available. Kind of curious to see if they're going to go for it.
They could use it. They should know that everybody's going to be grouped up over towards the A main area, so that Rolling Thunder could get an immense amount of value. We'll have to see if that is going to be the call. Nakji going to be taking a little bit of damage as Buzz pushes through the smoke fearlessly, but a great nade out from Nakji also found 10X, so 2 kills on the board for him. Esperanza trying to get the tap here onto the spike. Cannot do it. Rio finds 1. He finds 2. Can he make it happen? No, he turns around because he knows he has to go to the spike, but unfortunately does get cut down. I mean,
where's the utility?
I don't know.
Rio's got it. They've got so much available. They have Hunter's Fury. They've got the wall. They've got everything. The Cosmic Divide, the Rolling Thunder. Everything is available there, basically, except for the Killjoy lockdown. That's the only thing they didn't have. And they don't use any of it. I mean, they've got him in perfect spots. Rolling Thunder buys you a couple extra seconds to maybe get that defuse. With the Hunter's Fury as well, you can keep that door from an angle pretty well boxed in. You can just throw the wall up. That blocks bullets.
Yeah. It forces them to press through into you, basically. Oh no! Buzz, a catastrophic whiff! Spotted Kosup. It seems like he had to do a little bit of a double take. 10X tries to spare some blushes by taking down the Omen in the end. Doesn't get punished, but it will be effectively tied up right now 3-3. A bit of damage out onto the Spear Gaming Sova here as he creeps his way up through Gelato into A main. Dash out onto the side. Esperanza just holds the corner, manages to find two. Can he get the third? Wicks creeping up through the smoke will get finished off here by Ghana, and it's going to be a nice round win here for Rio. But that was looking a bit catastrophic here, and that's Buzz, you know, live and die by the sword. He doesn't have a kill yet.
That's all, yeah, I mean, he's trying to get it going. I like the attempt by Buzz. He knows he's going to be saving up enough money to get the op in the next round with using his Blade Storm. So, you know what, let's just go for the big play. We've seen that a couple times here where players come up over that wall into the bell tower as the Jet with the Blade Storm and get a couple big kills. Sometimes you catch teams completely unawares. This time, Spear does not fall for it. And now Buzz, it's the operator, and he's going to be pushing forward with it. Buzz is playing so aggressive, gets some backup there, kills the boom bot with the assault rifle, so he's able to not reveal that he has the operator here.
Yeah. Continuing to hold this angle, Nakji will force him back. Good nade placement, getting a bit of a read that somebody probably had inched up, but does he go just far enough around this corner for Buzz to take him down? Is the question. Market is completely unoccupied and not watched right now, so there's a decent chance that Buzz just gets wrapped around on.
I mean, my real question is Nakji aware enough of this that he's going to, shoulder check it and not just peek around the corner? Well, that's going to answer that question. Sets Buzz back.
He just leaves. Okay.
But Buzz is in an awkward spot now with that operator. He is in an alley. He's kind of, behind lumber.
Oh. Okay. The wall
Nobody's
came
even in
up.
market. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Okay, wall came up.
Right.
That is
the middle?
Not doing a whole lot as far as controlling B, but 10X is doing a decent amount. Push around the corner. Off shot, not quite going to connect. Buzz taking a bit of damage. Tries to go for the point blank, no scope, but it just completely whiffs. Now Wicks well into the back here. Up Boathouse, just spamming through with the Hunter's Fury, hoping to get a lucky connection. 30 HP for him. Manages to lock onto Esperanza, taking his head off, but he cannot get Intro. Intro comes up with 3, swaps out a gun, picking up the operator for Buzz yet again, and that will tie us up 4-4.
I mean, if it wasn't for Intro, this would be really lopsided for Spear. He has come up with a couple big wins for them in the late game, and Buzz still is struggling. He has no kills. He's 0-8. He has the operator again. There's still enough money in the banks for Rio with some of these clutch wins from Intro. Intro's really proven to be Wells Fargo right now, carrying the rest of this team economically. But you're in such a weird spot when you have that operator and you get stuck in the backside of B. It's really hard to use it. You don't have a great escape angle. You don't have any, actually, because you're stuck in boats or whatever. And then when people rush you, it's really hard to, no scope with the operator. It's a very finicky gun if you don't have that red dot in the middle of the scope.
Spotted cause, oh man, looks away right at the moment that it could have actually gone for the shot and then gets chunked down to 38. Oh, this is just catastrophic. Buzz is not having a good time at all into this first map.
Yeah, this
forward spots a little bit.
Man, it's hard to watch Buzz. Maybe he's just a little cold. Needs to get fired up a little bit. And Spear, they did win their first game. I mean, it was, to be fair, these are the two best teams in this group for sure.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. But you still want to do well. You still want to be the top team coming out of your group. And I think the expectations are on Rio. Even with changing Harry out for Esperanza, I don't think that's a huge change necessarily. I think they're both pretty good, darn good players.
Showstopper into market. Could take down Buzz if he just lets it loose. Throws a grenade to start. Looks to clear boats, will manage to do so. 10X, however, with the Hunter's Fury, manages to find 2. Park Jong and Koza both eliminated. Spike now going to be recovered. Rotated in while Market gets held. But, oh, man! Rio with the lineup! Ooh, just gets the snipe on him, puts him in the grave. Wicks with a nice wraparound, does manage to find one, but that's 10x potentially coming up with an ace. Got the kill onto Wicks, now just needs to find one more. Arrow not gonna spot him, so should give him enough information to figure that he's going to be in that boathouse. Can we find it? The answer is no. Ghana will come up with the kill in the end, so no ace for 10x, but Rio will take a lead.
Yeah, it's nice to see someone else stepping up here for Rio. 10x with a very, very nice hold, a great shock dart, a great Hunter's Fury, really finding some great angles on the entries for Spear Gaming there. I'm just struggling so hard not to call him Apex and Muyao.
Takes a decent amount of self-control.
Yeah, but it is a good one. Still Buzz though, 0-9, and they're still forcing that operator into his hands. So a lot of money being invested in getting Buzz going, which makes sense. When you feel like even though he's 0-9, eventually he's going to start to come through. He's a very good player. Like good players always eventually find a way to start picking it up. Like even if they have bad starts to a game, you very rarely see them just bomb out in a game.
Yeah, I mean, surely there's no way that we end this map with Buzz having 0 kills, right?
I don't think so.
It seems like it should be mathematically impossible, but we'll have to wait and see. You never know. Either way, slower play now for the side of Spear Gaming. Drone is going to be spotting a little bit. Buzz doesn't quite find the shot. So the 0-9 scoreline remains.
A lot of utility waiting for Spear here on this A site.
Now taking a decent amount on the push. Esperanza has the lineup. Will get cut down, but Buzz, he's finally on the board. 1-9 takes down Koza.
Yeah, the shot from heaven. And now all eyes are up there. There's him and 10x just gonna wait for this to come down, play for the retake now. Try to retake control of tree and then come through there. Wicks trying to hold it down, has to back off into Boiler. Gonna get spotted out by the recon dart. Heading on back, and well, there's one in hell, and here come the flashes.
Flashes flying, do manage to find this guy, but now that'll have dissipated. Park Jung finding a nice kill there onto that entry from 10x, and intro finds Nakji. Now, it all comes down to Wicks yet again playing out from main. Tap on the spike. They pull off intro, going to be very heavily defended as Ghana will go ahead, get the final kill. So 6-4, 2 more rounds to go in the first half of the map. Spear Gaming would love to bring this back to a 6-6.
Yeah, Wicks' crosshair just to the left of the head there of Ghana, so not able to get it done. And it's good work here by Intro, recognizing that they were probably in hell with the way the utility had been used, with the way the flashes were coming through from heaven, and then the Aftershock as well coming through there. Not Aftershock, not Flashpoint either, but you know what I mean. The utility there kind of forced them into the back of the corner. Intro steps up, knows they're in the back of heaven, and gets the kill to start things off, and that really opens up a ton of space for him.
Well, Buzz just going for that opening pick here, straight down mid, which is exactly where Spear's going to be going. They do have Koza lurking out over towards Gelato. Great shot there from Buzz, does manage to find Hound. Tail wins out to safety and does manage to retain a full HP bar. Looks like he might re-peek through window as well. His intro lurks here at Wine. Finds the kill, 10x in the mid here. We'll get another. Spamming through the wall. It cannot deny the plant, but it's 2v5.
It's a great bottleneck here from the members of Rio. They just are coming from all sides, catch completely off guard. Buzz actually gets the shorty kill there. Ooh, Wicks with the double with the Sheriff, but gonna get finished off by Esperanza. So it's tough, man. I mean, that time, Rio just reads them like a book. They just know exactly where they're going. They wait for them to go through, and then they swarm around the backsides of them. Buzz up there with that operator, finally getting things going, slows up the speed at which Spear is able to push forward. Even though you don't have the Killjoy utility on A that time, doesn't really matter because you're in good lurking positions to come from behind and get into the flanks of Spear.
Yeah, really well done. And that's 5 rounds straight now for Rio on the board. Spear Gaming, you know, 7-5, never really a bad start to a map. Definitely keeps you in it, but any more than that and it really starts to slip through your fingers and it looks more and more damning. So let's see if they can close out this final round of the half. Line out into mid. Buzz looking to make it happen again. Finally does manage to line up. Nakji follows up for the second kill.
There you go, Buzz.
That one's back over in the mid. Yeah, Buzz starting to come online now. pushing through into a main. Seeker's going to be destroyed. Turret as well, as they just smoke off that tree access. Spike will get planted, but yet again, 3v5 for the attempted retake. Push up here onto Heaven. Hound finds two. Buzz and Ghana knocked out of the park. That levels the playing field immensely. Esperanza, however, manages to find one intro with his push up the top. And 10X with a nice flank through main will finish them off. And that will make it 8-4. Intro just going up into the air to use that Cosmic Divide just for funsies. As they will get the defuse. And there you go. First half, Rio with a very nice lead after a fairly rocky start.
I feel like I'm watching a Prince music video there, just with all that purple. Anyway, no, it's really nicely done here by Rio, kind of figuring things out. It all starts off with a great flash from Ghana. That's basically an uncontested flash. There's not much that Spear Gaming can do about that, and they get caught a little unawares this time with the Blade Storm. He's up and over, lands the first couple, that resets the Blade Storm, of course, and he just is able to glide around the corner, get another, and there's never really a crossfire that could come through for Spear. They get really backed off by that flash. It hits a lot of them, and they're kind of in disarray. It's a really, really nice, kind of change of pace. The timing is really good as well for Rio. So that's an 8-4 start. Let's see if they can come through and finish strong on their attacking side.
Wix looking to scout. Holding the dart for now. Oh man, Koza pushes forward into his dark cover. Managed to find two. Cannot quite get that third, but Ghana is knocked down to half HP. As is Intro. Does get spotted. Nade to delay. It's a fantastic start on the defense here for Spear Gaming. Would, basically net them a couple rounds. Now with Hound finishing off the softened up breach. Intro falling. It all comes down to Esperanza, who is completely surrounded.
Yikes. There's a big yikers moment for sure. Just gonna let the flash fly in. Ooh, Esperanza does get knocked. He gets another before getting taken down by Park Jung. Yeah, that's tough. This is kind of disappointing here, definitely for Rio. Have such a strong finish to that first half, but they lose the pistol round again. That's two pistols that have not gone their way, and that's essentially 4 rounds that are just not gonna be in your book.
Well, still going to be doing all right. Still not feeling any kind of pressure to try and go for a force. So we'll just be a full save plus, potentially some utility purchases here and there.
16-5 for Intro. That's ridiculous. He's so good.
Fault line forward. Flash out to clear the right side. Tailwind in. Buzz says, yep, sight completely open here for now. Flash up over the top. Park Jung. Using those Hawks, getting some value, but they cannot stop the plan from going down. Koza pushed up over the top, taking just a smattering of damage as these jump right clicks come out from Buzz, but it's not going to be too threatening here for the Omen. Fairly full HP bars here for Rio, other than Esperanza, who's taking a little bit of damage. If they can hold this off, to pick up the round win, it would be a huge turnaround for them. Drop down from Wix, does get eliminated. Now the rest of the team starts to make their way forward here onto the side. They know exactly where 10X is at. They find Intro at the end as he pushes the smoke. And that will be Spear getting 2 here in the second half.
It's great patience from Spear on this. Even though Nocchi's still over in B main, when the spike is getting planted, they don't overcommit. They wait. Nobody's really over peeking. They're just kind of getting a little bit of information, throwing a few flashes here and there, from some other things, some utility coming through to buy a little time. Get everybody set up, all kind of swarm in there together. It's just, that's like textbook right there. They just come in and they only lose 1 in the process. That's very nicely done by Spear. But now it's, that's pretty typical, right? They have the guns, they have the, the patience. They can be allowed to do that.
Intro just deciding where he wants all these stars to go. Has them placed. Let's see how they execute on it. Buzz picking out one. Intro does fall as Hound makes his way in around the corner. Great blind timing there from Ghana, however, buys him enough time, doesn't take too much damage, gets the kill on a Hound.
Yeah, that's really nicely done by Ghana. A couple good flashes in the last couple rounds by him, setting up some big kills for his team. Buzz has somebody around the corner. Is he going to be ready? No, he is not.
Okay, well, we'll fake the TP out. Trying to catch any unsuspecting people pushing through main. Doesn't hear anything though, so we'll start to push out into the B lobby. In the meantime, Wix is just completely set up here in Wine.
Kosa's done a really nice job in this half, putting himself in some odd spots by the doors that are catching Rio completely unaware, in the pistol round in particular.
Speaking of catching unaware, 10X right now has crept out of main. They clear that corner, Wicks could absolutely annihilate him. Has not peaked yet. Continues to play back in the wine. Parkjung dropping down, trying to get some vision. There's the push out. Wicks does cost him quite a bit of his HP bar, but does finish off 10X. Spear Gaming looking for the push. Koza making his way forward, still going to be full HP, but as I say that, Esperanza will strike him down. Wicks now trying to do his damnedest. Gets one, but it will not be able to stop this spike from going off. Ghana will be the lone member left alive as they both have nearly no health remaining. But it will be Rio taking around, making it 9-6.
Well, this time, you know, with the guns being kind of normalized, it's a lot harder for Spear to make those retakes, and things were a little bit more chaotic in the beginning. Man, what a recoil control there from Wicks. He really had to drag that Vandal down to get that shot. Woohoo! Very nicely done. He's 13 and 12. A lot of people on the side of Spear positive, but just a couple, you know, intro really just carrying for Rio right now. I mean, he's just so good. We do have Rolling Thunder, comes out right away.
Oh, yeah, does come crashing through. Doesn't quite clip the sky. They managed to find the race, but they can't capitalize. The Boombot drawing so much attention. Buzz, though, just charges through the smoke, manages to find one, follows up for a second. Nakshi eliminated from Market. The blind not quite going to connect there on a Buzz, but Hound has the cross angle coming out of Market to finish him off. Now 2v3 for the attempted retake. Already see Parkjung starting to cheat down the right side. Playing this out patiently. Looks like they have a decent amount of time to play around. Tailwind forward into the smoke. Hound pushes out in the back of the blind, but they will both get struck down. That is 10 rounds now on the board for Rio. 3 more to go to close out map 1.
Yeah, decent timing off that blind from Parkjung, but just couldn't quite get in there and land the shots. It's a good opening this time for Buzz, picking up that early entry. Kosa trying to do what he's been doing, hanging out around the doors, trying to find cheeky angles to catch Rio, not checking their corners. This time they do. Buzz picks up his Vandal, gets another kill quickly, and that really opens the door big time for Rio to come through, get into B, get the plant, and there's a couple trades on the backside while they're pushing in. That's fine, you'll take that at that point.
Fault line out, just taking their time with it. Boombot does get cleared, but it's spotted Buzz. They should know. Nakji, as long as he was paying attention, should know that there was somebody waiting around that corner.
He's got that showstopper, and you know they're always itching to use it. Hound has the Blade Storm. He's going to be over by a tree, watching that, seeing if he can catch anybody, just holding on to that. But the flash comes through. That backs him up a little bit. Ooh, Buzz. Not able to get any damage, though.
It doesn't get any damage, doesn't receive any. Always scary when you're playing against these hard angles held by Sheriffs. As long as you have the lineup in the reaction time, you can, you know, just go ahead, pick up an ace.
You do have lockdown available, so I think Rio just trying to kind of sniff out both sites, see which one is maybe going to be a little more available to get this down safely, get it locked in. But there is the counter with the Hunter's Fury, so that also is something that has to play into the equation.
Well, there's the shorty. Kosa, however, will get pushed. Esperanza coming in on the backside. Gets that kill. Alarm bot going to be tossed out, but Hound presses the corner, has the right click, strikes him down. 3v3, Spike now getting planted in the back of B. 2 at Market, 1 from Defender's spawn. Let's see if Spear Gaming can engineer a retake of the site, which they so desperately need. No tailwind, but Updraft and Blade Storm still here, so maybe we just see a play up over the top come out from Hound. Exactly what he's going to go for, but he can't quite line it up on Agana. Softens him up, enough for him to get the elimination, but Rio, they still have Buzz. Dash over to the side, Blade Storm of his own. Tries to force him off the spike, manages to do so, continues to press further forward. Cheating around the boxes, jumping and dipping. Keeping him guessing, throws out the knives. A little bit of damage in, but in the end, he will fall. Parkjung going for the defuse. It's going to be decently close, but he will just barely manage to get it. 0.49 seconds remaining before the explosion, and there's the clutch.
Yeah, great job by Parkjung I honestly would have rather seen Buzz just hang on to the Blade Storm. I think just sticking with the Vandal there are the boxes you can kind of get some wall bangs through. I think that might have been a little bit better to as an option in that moment, but it is what it is. Park Chung just doing a great job being cagey, dancing around, and finally coming through and getting it. And yes, indeed, Odin time. It is Ascent, so it is Korea, and it's kind of an unusual position for Wix to be in with that Odin.
Yeah, he's looking like maybe he thought that they were going to be pushing through mid aggressively. Esperanza, however, does get taken out by a very aggressive 3-man push out from B main.
Oh, it opens the door nice and fast.
It does open the door very quickly. That is for sure.
But usually you see it used to shoot through the wall at B into B main. Oftentimes is what the defending Sovas will do with it.
Yeah.
Seeker's out for Park Chung, gonna follow it up with a flash, so they're gonna get a pretty good idea of what's going on inside the site.
Yeah, flashes are there. Oh man, Ghana still managing to come up with that great headshot. Takes out Hound. Buzz will find Park Chung. Still is alive, and now it's a 2v1. Kosa does outgun them. Gets the spray through the wall, and oh, follows up for the headshot onto Buzz. Barely with a dent on him. 92 HP remaining, 33 armor as well. The defuse will come in. It's yet again another clutch here for Spear Gaming, and now are within touching distance of tying this up.
Kosa's been really good in these close range engagements, and now he's the top fragger onto Spear Gaming, so bringing him in for the second stage here in Korea, he's proven to be really strong. Just really nailing his shots, using kind of off angles, weird stuff, you know, kind of putting him in spots that you don't always, players will sometimes forget to corner check, and he's kind of punished people a few times. Some good smokes to play off of that, like in the pistol round where he'll get the kill, throw the smoke right away, back up, kind of wait for people, utilize that vision advantage where they don't know exactly where he is. He has a pretty good angle to know where they're coming through. Doing some good stuff.
Oh, Trailblazer destroyed by the Frenzy, and it's just an aggro push here for Rio. They know that they are down on weapons and down economically. In the meantime, oh no! Oh, okay, all right, well, never mind. It worked out. Intro taking not too much damage either. Looked like he was going to get taken out, though. It does barely manage to come out on top and survive. The spot is there on a Buzz, but they can't quite get through that angle. Flash out Buzz. Tailwinds over to the side, tries to updraft to keep himself in the fight. Doesn't really manage to survive, but there's a decent amount of trade back coming through as Rio looks to hold this off. Dart lobbed in, 6 HP now on Wix. An Odin and a Dream versus Esperanza and Rio. He says, yeah, no, this thing costs a pretty penny. I'm going to try to save it.
Yeah, it's a really valuable gun on this map. There's so many walls that you can shoot through with it. It's just really, really essential at cleaning out some of those sticky situations that you can find yourself in. If you're coming from heaven on the retakes, they're in hell. You could really blast into there and dislodge people. And with his team losing that and knowing the economic situation, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. It's going to be pretty desperate for his teammates. Nobody's really in a good spot, so definitely need to keep everything they can. And yeah, if Rio wins this one, okay, so be it. But then, you know, Rio's in guaranteed overtime if they do. And then after that, it has to be a win out. So this one has to be a save. And then it has to be full throttle for Spear the rest of the way if they're going to take Ascent.
Yep. Full throttle. That's also why they sent Wix over to B to hold down that site. Really aggressive push through mid. It's not been scouted by anything yet. Alarm bot is set up, does get destroyed. Now they'll know they're coming from behind. Hawk up over the top, doesn't get the full blind. As Park Chung comes in, he does get cut down. Are they necessarily prepared for this jet around the corner is the question, but they might not push any further than this. The nade pushes them back just a little bit, but as Hound comes in, he will get taken down. Sentry up over the top, they get the spot here. Nakji will fall.
Really good cover by 10X, allowing Esperanza to put his utility up. That's really nicely done. Now the crossfires are incredible for Rio. There's not a lot with the late rotation from Wix that they can do, and there goes Kosa. Intro gets the wall bang, and this should be another round. Wix going to have to save that Odin one more time, and yeah, it has to be pedal to the metal. Ooh, he might get the exit frag. Yeah, he does. He takes Buzz down, but he's getting pushed. They really want to get that Odin out of his hands.
And they do. The full punish does come in. It costs Buzz his life, but they will be more than happy to go ahead and get that out of his hands. Obviously, Actually, no, couldn't pick up another one.
I mean, the confidence from Rio. They had the Killjoy ult. They had it. They didn't even need it. They don't even need to put the lockdown in. They're just like, yeah, we're just going to outshoot him this round.
Yeah.
And it's weird because Spear, because they push through mid so hard, they don't have anybody heaven. So they have that extra crossfire angle completely just abandoned. It's not there. And so it's like they're on the attacking side. Like they literally maneuvered themselves from the defender side over to the attacking side, and that's not the position you want to be in. That's hard. You need to have somebody heaven there. You know, they had 3 come through main, 1 through boiler. That's not going to get it done most of the time, to be honest.
Well, some flashes being chucked out. Now they rotate back over through the attacker's spawn.